Hi guys, welcome to Shine with Njoki Kamanja Kelly. Thank you because you're in the right channel, and here we learn, we inform you, we educate you. Here you will laugh, and sometimes you will just feel nice because we are always having a good vibe. So today we are going to be talking about co-parenting, and I remember there is a time that I was talking about it in my WhatsApp. Sometimes I do choose the topics, and I was asking about co-parenting, and another group, it's called Winning Supporting Moms, and they are very good, amazing moms there. We talk about so many things, and we were talking about co-parenting, and I thought, why not do it in a video? And the best person is always Trizo Masharia. So let's get into the video.
Hi viewer, thank you for staying with us and continuing to keep us company as we hold this very interesting discussion.
I think you have my number, so you see my status.
Yes.
Yes, Tuesday are for topics, and I bring topics that sometimes zinatukoroganga.
Yes.
And maybe you could talk about what is co-parenting so that somebody can understand, because maybe people know about single parenting, people know about parenting, but now co-parenting.
I think co-parenting is sharing parental responsibilities between two people who have chosen to live separately. Yeah, so they're sharing the responsibilities of raising a child, nurturing the child, but they're in different environments or at shared times. Yeah, and like you said, co-parenting is relatively a new term in our African setting. Single parenting was a more common one. Most people would in most cultures mtoto alikuwa either wa mama ama ni wa baba. So the parents would leave the children. If it's the mother, walk away, and the father is left parenting the child, and the mother would go probably get married somewhere else and have other children. Same thing, some mothers would take their children with them and raise them on their own. But co-parenting is becoming very common in our setting now. It's a growing phenomenon. It's growing.
Would you term it as a good or a bad thing? Because personally, I think if the way it's growing, it's maybe it's a good thing, because now then they would just walk away and walk, and years later somebody is still asking, who is my dad? But right now the child has the opportunity of knowing, my mom and dad don't live together, but I have a dad
and I have a mom.
So even when we are there playing and you're talking about your dad, I have something to throw in. Or from you, what do you think about it?
Well, I do think it's a good thing. Like we said earlier, I come from a single parent family, and there were times I longed for a dad. There were times. My brother once wrote a post on FB and talked about one time when our dad had promised to come and take us somewhere. And my brother told everybody in the estate, we were living in Umoja, everybody in the estate was told my dad is coming. And my brother na hakuwa anapenda bafu na sione hii.
Kwanza hii majira hii hata sisi tunafikiria sana, lakini ni vile ni aibu.
He bathed very early and waited. And in the evening, he didn't even eat. He just went to sleep. Because we longed for a dad. Yeah. And I think it is a good thing that even when a relationship doesn't work, that each of the parents continues to be in the life of the child. Like you said, issues of identity, that you want to relate with issues of stigma, that when other kids have something to talk about their fathers, that child also has something to talk about their own dad or the mother on the other side. So I do think in cases where relationships are not working, or maybe the child has come and they were unplanned for, remember, it is a privilege to be a parent. So it is also a privilege for a child to have both parents in their life. So it is a good thing.
Wow. Why is it becoming too common nowadays? Because there are so many people. There is the baby daddy, baby mama, and also it has too much drama in it. There kuna hadi ambassadors. Sitaki kuingilia hapo kabla waniambie kitu. They are even ambassadors of co-parenting. So why is it becoming too common?
I think because of the level of broken relationships, the rate of divorce and separation has gone alarmingly high. It has grown alarmingly high. And now, as opposed to before, when relationships would break and the child would take only one parent, now there is a emotional involvement in the nuclear families. You know, before daddies used to just give money, but now we have daddies who are more involved. Like in your generation, I'm seeing fathers who are even going to receive their babies in labor ward. So I'm imagining
very good dads. Yeah, that good dads.
That dad has bonded with their child from the time this child has been born. Has played with the child. Oh, siku zetu baba kucheza na wewe.
Akikuja unaenda
it was
bedroom.
Not a common thing. So we have more closely knit families. Families where both the mother and father are emotionally involved with the child. So when the relationship is broken, then the father feels, I still want to be in my child's life. Or the mother feels, I may not be financially able to take care of the child, but I want to be in my child's life. There is also the concept of the law.
Yeah.
You know, the law now
is really advocating for that.
Children's rights, that they have a right to have
both
parents involved in the parenting of that child. There's issues of the law, and then there is also the emotional attachment that is causing all of this co-parenting thing to become more common and more popular.
Now, there are mistakes that people do in this co-parenting. Maybe by the time we were having this child, it was a romantic relationship. It's not like we were talking in another episode of single parenting by choice. So now we are not able to separate between the emotions that we had and the kid that we now have. What are the mistakes that people are having? And also wale wa huyo baba yenu anashinda akiwapeleka huko maswimming, hamjui vile mimi ninateseka. Yes.
I think one of the biggest mistakes that I have watched is alienating. That now kwa sababu tumekosana, and I know it hurts you when you don't see your child, I make sure that I deny you every opportunity to meet with this child. It is selfish for any parent who does that, because that child needs the other parent just as much as they need you. So alienating of the children is a number one mistake. You're not doing that for the sake of the child, you're just being a selfish person. Another thing is carrying the bitterness of the broken relationship into the children, pouring it on the children. That now, akienda kwa baba yake, akikuja hana amani huyo mtoto kwa hiyo nyumba. Umetoka kwa baba yako,
umenunuliwa masimu.
That is a mistake, because that child was not there. They never asked to be born by the two of you. In fact, if they were, kama angeulizwa akiwa huko binguni, angechagua the family that looks most stable azaliwe huko. So that child is not there by choice. Realize also, another mistake is also failing to acknowledge that this child is hurting. So that every time they have to go to the mom's place and have to leave to go to dad's place, there is something that this child is going through emotionally. So if you fail to acknowledge that, you're also making a mistake. Another mistake that most parents make when they are co-parenting is using the child as a spy. Ukienda huko uangalie daddy anaongea na nani, mami wanakuanga na nani
going round. Nini?
I love that. I have watched
it. Abu songesha kamera hapo nione uko na nani.
So some people actually use the children as the spies now. Enda unipigie picha. Enda mulienda wapi? So when the child comes from the father's place or the mother's place, they are coming for an interrogation session of what you did, who are you with, who does dad speak to. And you're dragging your child into your mud. Another thing is bad mouthing the other spouse. You want to co-parent with this person, then you want a child who is happy with both. True. So don't take that opportunity when you're with the child to tell the child about the bad things about the other parent. Like I said in our other video, that child, if this person is a bad person, they'll find out on their
They
own.
will know.
They will know. I know people who have tried co-parenting, but the kids get to a place and say, I don't want to go to this other place, to this other parent. So let the children find out. But as far as you're concerned, make so that when that child is there, the child is also being taken. And then don't try to play favorites. That when you are with the child, you are allowing everything that the other person.
It's true. You are undoing even the rules in the other side.
Yes. Now, that one you will lose that child in between. As you're trying to show them that being with me is more fun than being with mom, you're allowing everything that mom forbids. Ati anasemanga mlale saa ngapi? Hapana, lala saa ile unataka, wachana na yeye. And you're taking that opportunity now to badmouth your spouse. You will lose the child in between there. So those are some of the things that people do wrong when they are co-parenting. And then also holding bitterness against one another. Because if we are co-parenting, children are very wise. Actually, they have a lot of brain. So they will play the two of you.
Daddy alisema.
Yeah, daddy said. And because you're not talking with that other spouse, you will want to do something different from what daddy said. And it's somewhere in between there. Or even the child tells you, I'm going to mom's place. Lakini juu huwezi pigia mom, amuongeleshani, sasa unapata mtoto anaenda kule anataka. So
lose the child in between.
Maintaining bitterness and hurts towards one another is one of those mistakes that people actually make when they are co-parenting.
Now you have talked about now one parent wanting to outshine the other one.
Yes.
Now let's talk about balance, because balance is one of the things that these parents struggle with. Maybe I am not financially strong as you, and you can buy the kid an iPhone. Me, I bought maybe just a normal phone. How do we find this balance of we are not trying to outshine each other, showing the kid who is more favorite, who is the best, who can provide the best toys. We are not also trying to outshine that I am the one who can give permission where you didn't give. How do these two people find their balance? With this in mind, their spouses, maybe I have moved on. I now have a husband. But we have still to continue doing this co-parenting. How do we balance in that circle?
Balance, is it financial? Is it
because this kid, when it comes to where now maybe I got married, he has a new dad. So now I have to try to see how this kid is going to balance between two dads. And also, how do I continue showing the love even after I have introduced other kids? Now if I give birth with this new dad, because you see, it's a whole new conversation that is supposed to happen. So let's talk about the balance between the two parents who are co-parenting, and now the conversation when we introduce a spouse and other kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, it's so unfortunate that we've gotten here as a society. It's so
and we have to talk about it.
That we are having to talk about this. But one of the things, and I think I said it earlier, is maintaining, even if not a friendship, maintaining communication. That we are going to communicate about how we are going to raise this child for the well-being of this child. So the issues of outshining, we realize this is not a competition. We actually have a mandate, a joint mandate between me and you, because me and you, we were given this child together to make the best out of this child. So you are working on conversations going around balance, going around boundaries. Again, back to that word. That
because we have baby daddies who say, kuja ukujie mtoto. And when they come into the house, they're like, sasa so ulisemaje?
Yes, and that happens because we don't have communication. We don't have clear communication that, this thing is over. this thing is over, but now how are we going to deal with the child? If I've gotten into another relationship, so that you don't also interfere with my relationship, that now you're not calling in the middle of the night. I am a married woman or I'm a married man to someone else. We are co-parenting, yes, but mipaka iko wapi? Where are we drawing the boundaries as to how far we get into one another's business? We are also having conversations concerning routines of the child. I think one time we had that conversation with you. Nilikuwa nakupigia kelele.
Mushomo.
Sijawahi but it is also about the routines. Remember, it's for the well-being. Co-parenting is for the well-being of the child. It has nothing to do with your comfort. But we are also ensuring that when this child is with the father and when they are with the mother, there is a balanced routine. That at my mom's place, this is how I do things. I sleep at this time. I brush my teeth before I go to bed. I wake up, I wash my face before I do this. That those routines munaongelelea, so that when this child goes to this other home state,
they maintain.
The routines are maintained, and even if they are not exact, they are very near or very similar, so that this child doesn't now get confused. Nikienda huku, things are done this way. Nikienda huku, things are done the other way. So you're having those discussions around that. You're also realizing that chances are that you're not earning the same. So if it is the man, maybe he has gotten another family and the financial responsibilities are more. This lady may be earning more. So you are also having conversations around ensuring that the needs of the child are met. So I can say, this month I'm struggling in this area. Why don't you chip in a bit more? I had said I would do this. So the conversations have to keep going on. I always say this, that people parting ways, there are times relationships just don't work. And when you realize a relationship is not working and there are children there, then you don't have to end relationships as enemies. Don't burn bridges. Don't burn bridges. Maintain a level of human dignity in the way you relate. In the way you relate with one another, because you need that in order for this child to have a good and stable life. So also you need to just forgive and move on. Admit this did not end up the way we had planned or wanted. But I choose to forgive you, so that we can work together and bring out the best out of our parenting.
Now, I had talked about there are times when one parent will move on. They'll have a spouse. Before I introduce this spouse to this child, because now they are going to more like have two parents, two daddies or two mummies. This child, before the spouse, this child, how do I introduce them? When is the right time to introduce them?
Let me first say this.
Because where people are introducing many...
Your children, no matter how small they are, when they know they have a mommy and a daddy, their biggest dream and desire is to have mommy and daddy. And that's the dream of every child who has parents who have separated. They dream of the day mom and dad will come back together. So if you go out there and get someone else who's not their dad, you can be sure that will be met with a resistance. If you get another girl who is not their mother, trying to push that girl on this child, you are busting their bubble. The bubble that told them one day mom and dad will come together and we'll have a perfect family. So it's not going to be easy. But how you bring these people in, and if maybe someone is out there and you're planning to date a man who's co-parenting, who's a baby daddy to someone, or a woman who's a baby mama to someone, you first need to court the children. As much as you're courting,
wakatie.
Wakatie. Yes. Luring is a bad word. But try to get these children on your side. Which means apart from the dates you're having with the mom, sometimes take these kids out. Express your desire to be part of their lives, so that these children begin to accept you. That you're showing them, if I end up marrying your dad.
And by this time, are you coming as Uncle John or Auntie Lisa?
Of course.
Or you're just introducing yourself as John?
No, it all depends on,
you know
some of our children, even the house girl is auntie. So every adult, for some people,
who is not their parent,
is auntie or uncle. Okay. So depending on where the child is coming from, sometimes they'll start from the uncle place, and then now for them, that child to transition to a place where they'll respect you as a spouse to their mom, or to their dad, then that child you need to have won over the heart of that child.
So give them the choice of calling you whoever they feel comfortable.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but quote them separately. Because if you enter into a relationship, into a marriage with somebody's mother, then this child is supposed to give you the respect of a father, isn't it?
It's true.
Yeah. So they have to win your trust. They have to win your confidence. They have to be sure that you're not coming to beat up my mom the same way my dad used to. We are not going to have a continuation of the violence, of the verbal abuse, of the emotional abuse that we witnessed in the previous relationship. And also you're proving to me that it's not just my mother you care about. You also care about me. So it's very important for the spouse who is getting into this co-parented children to win over the children as well. And if the time comes and you need to get married, propose.
Will
you be my daughter? I've seen that in it's juu tumesema tukue wazungu. I think these are concepts that we need to borrow. Because it works for the child. The child owns now, this is my father, he proposed, he expressed desire to be my dad. Yeah, that it's not just my mother. You're not coming in as an intruder in our family. You're coming in because you love me as a child. You are coming in with the desire to be my other dad. Yeah, you're coming in with the desire to be my other mom. Yeah, so it's very important to have that. But nowadays you see people who are just throwing spouses at children. Huyu ndio baba yako sasa.
Uncle wa mkate, uncle wa dresses.
And also so that the terms can change. The child has a choice to ukimwambia, can I be your dad? Sasa hata anajua akuite nini. Yeah, that child now knows. He proposed to me and asked whether he can be my dad. So I'll call you my dad. I know I have another dad, but you're my other dad. It's very complicated. Oh God, I wish we never had to talk about these things, but this is the reality we are living in right now.
Now, this is the child. We have already talked about the child. This parent has to talk to that parent that I'm now introducing somebody in my life. We must have this conversation because of course there are times this kid will be with daddy one and with daddy two, and how do we work around it, and how I want it to go so that you're not interfering with my new life now.
The boundaries we talked about. Remember, this is also that person's child. And you're introducing someone else to their child. So it's important, what we said, walk in forgiveness so that you're able to walk the path of parenting these children together. So you are also telling the other person that there's someone in my life and I want to move on, so that you're agreeing. That person might feel, I don't want my child having another father. Niachie mtoto wangu nilee. Then you can agree. Then the baby can permanently stay with you and come to visit. But those conversations are very diverse.
And actually they're usually hard because women mostly, I don't know, we connect more. We just feel it is us who should stay with the kids.
But sometimes it's not always the case. Sometimes the children are better off with their dad.
True.
Sometimes. If especially you're getting married to somebody who you see anakupenda, but they are having a problem adjusting to your children, and the father really loves his children. Why would you subject to the children to a man who's just bearing with them when they have the opportunity of being with a person who really loves
somebody
them.
who bears with your children?
Yeah, that is something. I think as a woman, if you don't love my child, I have
Me
no
too.
business.
If you don't love my
I have no
children,
business being with you.
Yeah.
But you know, some things show up after mmeanza kuishi pamoja. That's when you start to see this guy's attitude towards your child has changed. And if the father is still willing to live with their child, so in the beginning, when you start actually a relationship and see this is serious, it's heading towards a permanent relationship, communicate with your ex. Tell them, this guy, I'm seeing this person, and so I don't want you to complicate my life by doing this. So draw the boundaries, what is comfortable, what is not comfortable. Let also this other person know that the father to this child is still
alive and very
active in my child's life, so that it's not taking him by surprise when already you've started living together and somebody is knocking on the door to take the child, or the child is talking about daddy. So communication is very key. And drawing of very clear boundaries.
Because it can get complicated.
And even the spouses that are coming in need to know that they're coming into a complicated relationship. One time I had an issue and this lady was saying, tell so and so, now the person who was the mother of the children, that to stop calling my husband. And I told her, excuse me, what you can discuss is what time. But you realize you got into a complicated relationship. Their children, those children need their father, they also need their mother. You can't stop these people from talking. So also for the person getting into a relationship of a baby mama, baby daddy situation. And you are also cooperative. I look at the Bahatis and I can mention because the story is out there. The Bahatis are co-parenting very well.
Actually, the baby mama just
she even visits. I don't know that I would want anyone's baby mama to come visit to my house.
It's hard.
It's hard. I think Diana has such a big heart. Because again, you don't know, not everyone maybe like Mama Mweni. Some people will be malicious in the way that they think. But get communication. Communication is very, very important. Keep conversations going for the sake and for the benefit of these children. And also forgive this person and begin to see the good side of this person as a parent. Like I said earlier, you can be a lousy partner.
But a very good parent.
A very good parent.
So true.
Acknowledge their strengths as parents and encourage them. And encourage them and be supportive.
On the last one, this kid in issues of discipline. If I'm coming as a new mommy and I cane them, and maybe they are not used to being caned, they might interpret this new mommy who came. Kidogo. I don't want us to go deep into it because I want us to talk about in another episode about step parenting. We need to have now a conversation. Apart from they have already quoted, he has already proposed, and the kid has agreed. I don't know. Let's not talk about it because I believe it's a whole episode about step parenting now. Because after cooperating now these two are step parenting. And I want you to talk to these two people who are co-parenting and talk to them about watatoaje feeling. You know, it's not easy.
Feeling.
Like this romantic, now you're not bitter. Are there ways you can do it, or you just do it on your own?
If you do it together, you'll end up right back where you are, and then you'll have more children to co-parent. Because the fact that you didn't end up in a marriage, or the marriage didn't work the first time, if you're not careful, they say people who have slept under the same blanket, and you know why? Because there's an emotional attachment that forms when people are engaged. The Bible says you become one.
It's true.
So you have to to
separately deal with it.
Yeah, you have to separately deal with it
Yeah.
and agree
Yeah.
that hapa zile mipaka tulikuwa tunasema we are just co-parenting. Don't get things wrong.
Yeah.
Ukileta mtoto kwangu, wacha mtoto kwa mlango and move.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you into the house. You
Yeah.
can be you are a potential threat.
Yeah. Or potential co-parent again.
Yes. Yeah. So kwa hivyo ni kila mtu heal. Everybody heals on their own.
Yeah.
Everybody is taking responsibility because for it takes two to mingle.
It's true.
For a relationship to break, it takes two people.
Wow.
For a relationship to start, it takes again two people. So everybody takes responsibility for their mistakes.
Yeah.
And everybody heals separately.
Yeah.
And then now you agree. It can take mediation. It can take sometimes somebody sitting, the two of you together, so that you set out if there is still that bitterness that would cause you to throw words at one another, then you might need somebody to mediate the meeting.
And if worse goes to the worst, it goes to the law, which sometimes I feel like children are put under too much pressure. Now you have to choose, do you go with mommy or you go to daddy? Yeah. And I'm an advocate of people doing things amicably. Yes, amicably. If it's hard for the two of you to have the conversation, look for that party who is neutral, not the one saying, lakini wewe ndo no.
And it's possible to break up and remain friends.
Yeah.
Because I think for most romantic relationships, it even begins with a friendship. Unless, of course, it was a one-night stand. Yeah. But in most cases, we took dinner together, we went out together, and then we got pregnant and realized we can't do this together, or we even were together, and then we realized this is not working. Wow. So when the romantic relationship is broken, try and heal and get back to the friendship. Okay. Because nothing is as beautiful as when a child can have both mom and dad coming for my school prize giving day, you know, and the child can have both the parents there. Wow. And things amicably. It's the grown-up thing to do.
It's true.
It's the mature thing to do. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Karibu.
For people who are co-parenting, sending you love and power, because it's not an easy thing to do.
It's not easy.
It's even as we talk about it, sometimes we just feel it's too much. But we are sending them love and praying that they are going to have a smooth co-parenting for the sake of the children. When I talk about parenting, I'm always an advocate for the children, because children don't make choices of who is going to be their parent or on which way they are going to come, the channel they'll come through. So sometimes it's and I have friends who co-parent so nicely. There's one who told me that for all the birthdays, the new spouse to the ex is the one who buys the cake and sends it, pays the school fees. And I almost told her, let me meet that woman. I hug her and tell her, thank you for accommodating this child.
It's possible to be mature about it.
It's possible. Yeah, and she told me once she let go the bitterness, she was able to attract love also. And that made me so happy. Wow. I won't say about the names before people start saying, Yule mwenye muli. Thank you so much.
Mili, by the way.
Huyu wako kwake. Thank you so much for watching. This is Shine with Njoki Kamanja Kethi. Remember, you're the light and you can shine.
Shine with Njoki Kamanja Kethi.